Hey everybody, as you probably already know, the announcement has gone out in Yolo County to shelter at home, and that is something that I hope everybody will take seriously. We want to do our part to help our community, and I know that there is a challenge here for a lot of us because we like to push back on little rules that don't seem like they're that important. But I hope at this time everybody's taking this stuff pretty seriously. I know that it's a big conversation with law enforcement, so let's help out our community and our law enforcement and make sure we're doing what's being posted and put out there. Partly for that very reason, we won't have any of our life groups meeting this week. Most of you already know that. Want to make sure that's out there, but also let you know we are working at putting together a solution for that. Some kind of virtual solution in the next couple of weeks should be rolling out so that we can at least have a time and place to meet together, share with each other, do prayer requests together, connect as a community a little bit more, find out any needs that are happening, just some opportunities to still continue to operate and be the church that we are meant to be. Just had a couple thoughts I wanted to share with you too. I was reading today out of Matthew chapter 6, and it's a remarkable passage. In fact, I honestly would encourage anybody to read that chapter today. Jesus just walks through some really challenging things, but he walks through some things I think that are right now are so good to take absolutely at face value. He walks through what it looks like to have compassion. He walks through what it looks like to be generous. He walks through what it looks like to connect with God through prayer and how to pray. And those things I think are just so meaningful. Walks through just how do we trust God with the very basics of life, like our finances and our money, our clothing, our food. In fact, I want to read this part from towards the end of it. At the end of 6 in verse 25, it says, "So I tell you, don't worry about the food or drink you need to live or about the clothes you need for your body. Life is more than food, and the body is more than clothes." So often I hear that and I kind of read right past it because foods, clothes, those things are so easy. They just come right to us all the time. But right now, those things are on the list of things we're panicking about a little bit. And just a reminder, here's Jesus saying something to really sit down and pause and hear for a moment, that life is more than these things. That he came that we would have life. I mean, he says that again and again and again. He came that we would have life. But that's a life that is found in him. And it's more than so much of the superficial things that we trust in, that we're distracted by, that we live for, that we can get obsessed with at times. He's saying, you know what, so we got to come back to that foundational piece of where does our life really come from? What's going to give it value? What's going to make it worthwhile? Because it's still meant to be worthwhile. And I'm going to read just the last part of this same section, skipping down to verse 31 of chapter 6, where he says, "Look, so don't worry and say, what will we eat? Or what will we drink? Or what will we wear? The people who don't know God keep trying to get these things, and your Father in heaven knows you need them." I mean, just hear Jesus saying that. Your Father in heaven knows you need them. So you can trust in him. You can rely on him. You can wait on him. He says, so seek first God's kingdom and what God wants. Then all your other needs will be met as well. So don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will have its own worries. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Jesus, he lived in a time where people knew this kind of trouble. And I love that he is talking to this crowd and he's reminding them, trust in God. Don't let your anxieties take over. Don't focus on your worries, but take those worries directly to God. And I would say, he doesn't just say don't worry and therefore, okay, now we don't have to worry. All of chapter 6 is him showing us the things we can focus on instead of our worries, instead of our anxieties. So I want to encourage you, go through, read it, even memorize a verse out of it. That last part about seek first God's kingdom is one that it does all of us a lot of good to be reminded that God is at work. He still wants you and I to discover our purpose for this time and this place, as well as how can we make a difference? How can we show compassion? How can we still serve one another? What are the opportunities that he's given us to do? And it might be a really great idea to even begin to list what are the opportunities that we could take advantage of right now with our family, with our neighbors, with our coworkers in this time. You guys, I hope that's encouraging and helpful. We got a big God that we serve, and we're going to keep coming back here to encourage one another. Hope you guys are all staying home and staying safe and staying healthy. Talk to you later.